Hey everybody, it's Stacie Duffy, your Denver Metro real estate resource, and today we're going to talk about HOAs. I know, you're not really excited about that, are you? So, HOAs, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly, okay? I'll say that. They have a purpose. The goal for most HOAs is for condos and townhomes, obviously, to take care of your common area elements, maybe like your detached parking garage structures or your common grounds, your landscaping, the pool, the clubhouse, tennis courts, whatever other amenities, gated community that you might have. For single family homes, some of those things, as well as enforcing covenants. So making sure that someone can't paint their house, bright orange and trim it out in turquoise or something like that. The goal is to maintain your property value and keep the neighborhood nice. That's really the point. So there's covenants, rules, restrictions, things like that. Let's just go through the good, the bad, and the ugly, in my view. So this is an opinion. Take it for what it's worth. The good, I've lived in a place that did not have an HOA. My very first home that I purchased was not in an HOA because where I lived, they kind of got a bad rap, and I definitely didn't want that. I didn't want someone telling me what I could and couldn't do with my house. Given that, my neighbors would have parties with 15 cars parked on the lawn for one day. They made their front yard into a permanent soccer field that they actually got a variance from the city on the code requirements for the fence. So once they filed the variance, I tried to fight that, didn't get anywhere. But yeah, it just wasn't a pleasant neighbor to deal with, and all I really had was city code, and there wasn't much recourse there. So after living and owning a home in a neighborhood without an HOA, I understand their value to make sure that someone can't do that with their house, and that you can't put a car on blocks in your front yard for a week or whatever, because city code isn't always on top of that kind of stuff. They have a lot to deal with. So HOAs are your first line of defense for that kind of thing. They also, a lot of times, they'll negotiate trash or water or sewer contracts for the neighborhood to try to save everybody some money and make some, nicer amenities for that. The bad, yes, they can tell you what you can and can't do and what colors you can paint your house and if you can have 3 dogs of certain size or 7 cats or whatever, depending on the covenants, the rules, and restrictions. So please read those before you consider buying a property. In Colorado, we have a due diligence period and an association documents period to cover those types of things. So you have a chance to read over the docs and make sure you're okay with all the rules. But it's all for certain reasons. So yes, they can tell you what you can and can't do. The ugly is a lot of times there's some drama and some politics, and it's not real fun. Sometimes you live next to the person that likes to turn you into the HOA for any little thing that you do, and there's not a whole lot you can do about that kind of stuff. But there's some great HOAs, and then there's, I would say, majority that I've dealt with in the buying and selling process, my own personal HOA, etc. I think they kind of get a bad rap. They do a lot that a lot of people don't realize and don't understand. So there are some out there, though, that have their issues. I am not going to dispute that. But if you have questions or concerns or just curious, what they do or where the money goes, go to a meeting. Most HOAs will have open board meetings, either on a monthly or quarterly or some sort of regular basis, depending on the size of the HOA and that kind of thing. But just go, and you can just go and sit as a homeowner. You're welcome to listen to what they're talking about. There may be a small executive session they have to let you go for, but for the most part, you can hear what decisions they're making and how they think and what issues come up and what decisions they have to make. So anyway, that's just my opinion, good, the bad, and the ugly on the HOAs. But if you have any other questions or comments about this, I'd love to hear them. Feel free to comment down below. I know a lot of HOAs send out nasty grams, so I'm sure I'll get a bunch of comments about that, but that's okay. It's part of the deal. If you want to reach out to me directly and have any specific questions, that's cool too. I've got my website link down below, and my contact information is on there, so feel free to reach out. But thanks so much for the time. Hopefully that answers some of your thoughts or gives you some opinions about HOA, and have a great day.